All right, you're on the internets.
Hey, internets. What's going on,
everybody? How you doing?
Hello, hello. Excuse me.
Hello.
Right, like,
Mahalo.
all right. Hey, internet, real quick. Just you and me.
Oh, my God. Spoiler alert.
So it's a bear,
Spoiler alert.
and it really likes cocaine. This is what you need to understand, okay? Just that's all you need to know. It's a bear that really likes cocaine. Have I gotten that point across to you guys? Are you guys... And you understand it now? You get it?
I think I'm starting to get it.
Okay, that's good.
Starting to.
But what's the movie called?
Cocaine Bear.
Wait. So it's not a bear that likes cocaine?
Yes, but that's the character, right?
Okay.
So they call him Cocaine Bear because it's, or I'm sorry, they call her Cocaine Bear.
Oh, well, now it's fucking spoiled, isn't it?
Yeah. Because she's bear
Okay.
that likes cocaine.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's just
What do you
important
call
to know.
yourself whenever you get into something, Melissa? Don't you call yourself item or activity Mel?
Yeah,
like
hills,
whatever the
hills
thing
and
is.
trees,
Oh, yeah,
Mel.
Hills and Trees,
Yeah.
Mel.
Chicken Mel.
Chicken Mel.
Yeah.
Could be cocaine Mel.
I mean,
But this is my point is there's history for this. This is
Me
the
and cocaine?
premise
No,
behind
there's
the
no
name.
history of me and cocaine.
No, the bear. This is the premise of the way the name is structured.
ridiculous fucking hair Graham. Yeah, that works.
I'm just trying to be-
Ottergram definitely
Autogram,
works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, but
It sounds like
My-
something you'd send on a environmental day to your
Autogram.
loved one.
Here's your autogram.
Send your love to your tree hugging hippie girlfriend with autogram.
Autogram.
please don't ever do that. But my absolute favorite
He'll eat her
is
just right.
Drunk Vacation Graham. That's my absolute favorite.
Vacation Graham is good. When I've been golfing all day,
So,
before I come in here,
He's
fucking built.
great. He's a lot.
Except, yeah.
He's a lot.
No, I mean, it's fun to watch. It's not, I don't want to
Yeah.
have to deal with that.
Yeah. Come in here when we get Vacation Graham. I'll let you drive the bus. See how you like it. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you. No, thank you. Hard pass. Pineapples.
Is that your safe word? Oh. I thought it was blowfish.
My
it's pufferfish.
my personal favorite for safe word lines, the goods that had Jeremy Piven in it. Ving Rhames wanting to make love because he had always constantly just had crazy sex, and he's finally making love with the woman, and he's like, "This is boring." She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, do anything you want. My safe word is blueberry pancakes."
Blueberry what?
Blueberry pancakes.
Oh.
The other great one is the Tina Fey
Game
and
night?
Amy Poehler doing the sisters throwing the house party.
Yes.
I
Yes.
forgot the name of the movie. John Cena is a drug dealer, and Tina Fey decides to go off. Tina Fey doesn't go off the deep end. It's Amy Poehler decides to go off the deep end, and Tina Fey's going to hook up with the drug dealer, and he looks right at her and he goes, "My safe word is don't stop."
That's funny.
See, my sister doesn't enjoy John Cena, but I think he's great as an actor.
He's funny.
He's funny.
He's funny.
Very funny. What's the hero TV show?
What do you mean?
Peacemaker.
Yeah.
He's
Oh, yeah.
fucking hysterical in Peacemaker.
He is.
Thought you were going
So
after the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I am a super comic book nerd on the DC side. I didn't read Marvel growing up as a kid, but I've read a lot of DC.
Oh, this is great. Go ahead, keep going. I've got a good dad joke I heard the other day
Oh, dear
that
God.
nobody cares about.
So
This is still the pre-show. Those of you just joining us.
Yes.
So Peacemaker, as played by John Cena, is so spot on, like the comic.
That's what Peacemaker is like in the comic.
Insane. Yes, he is so good. Like whatever homework they had him do to prepare for that role, he did it because
That's pretty
like
good.
the skills that
I'm
they
gonna
get
be
of
good
him
and save the world by killing you.
by killing you. Exactly.
I'm gonna
What was the alcoholic one Will Smith played?
I'm gonna teach you the right way to do things by shooting you in the
Deadshot.
face.
No, the alcoholic one.
Hancock.
Hancock. Is
Yeah.
it similar? And like Deadpool, like kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Doesn't really care about
Does not
anything,
care.
but just kind of saves the
Fine.
world
But
But
almost
is also
innocently.
his
incredibly
way.
stupid.
Well, he's
I mean,
oblivious.
he's real stupid.
But
Yeah.
when he does like realize, he tries, kinda.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like he is.
And fails miserably every
Yes.
time.
Oh yeah.
He tries. He
fails
tries.
so
Right.
hard. He tries
Bless his
so
little cotton
hard not
socks.
to do the wrong thing, and then eventually he gets to the point where he's like, "Fuck this," and he just like plows everybody. Like
All right, Sam, tell your
So this is
tell
like
your
an
dad joke.
autobiography of me, without like the killing part.
you would enjoy it very much.
All right, you ready? It requires a response from you
Okay.
at a certain point, and you'll probably get it.
Okay.
I hope.
Okay.
It's a correction you need to respond with.
Okay.
Okay. Do you-
Explaining the joke always helps
No,
tell a
shut
good
up.
joke.
Because, like, my brother-in-law said too much when the response came.
Heard.
So I couldn't deliver the punchline because he
'Cause he had
talked too
already-
much about it. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Ready? This is good. Do you want to hear my Batman impersonation? Fuck, this is kryptonite.
That's not fucking Batman.
Okay, who is it?
Superman.
Hey, thanks. I've been practicing.
Shut the fuck up.
I about fell off the toilet. I was laughing
That's
so hard
super
at that.
comma, man.
Yeah.
The comment section says, and I quote,
Come on.
That's not very autogram of you, I just gotta say.
It's fucking good.
Yeah, that was good.
$7.95, by the way. Send an autogram on Earth Day. I'll eat your hippie girlfriend real good.
How else better to say I love you than with an autogram?
That'll be our tagline. He'll eat your girlfriend right up.
Say I love you and trees with an autogram.
we need to come up with
Say
something.
I love
It'll be
you
like-
and the sea
we, need
with
to,
an autogram.
we need to come up with something more to go with it for t-shirts, because we can definitely do this.
Thinking about your hippie girlfriend on Earth Day? Tell her you'll treat her like a seal with an autogram.
Taylor Thompson says this does not get the otter seal of approval.
It's an autogram. It doesn't need a seal of approval or approval from a seal. It does what it wants. It does what it wants. It's an autogram. It does what it wants.
The funny part to me is that I have
does
an
what
Earth
it
Day
wants.
shirt that says there is no planet B, but I feel like now I need to change that to just like a picture of an otter with a seal. Like, Happy Earth Day.
It does what it wants. It does what it wants. Tell people it does what it wants with an autogram.
I just want to remind you, we still have not started the show.
Oh, yeah.
Are we ready to start
Yeah.
the show then?
Hey, guys, real quick, patreon.com/DU Football Show. This is Soundcheck, essentially. This is what we do.
Except for we talked about a bear that really likes cocaine. All right. Ready to do this, woman?
No, I'm not. Hold, please.
Got it.
Something my Audacity program just froze. Give me a moment.
All good, all good.
Y'all can go back to your regularly scheduled bullshit.
She was pushing.
How else better to send regularly scheduled bullshit than with an autogram? I couldn't even get that one out.
Want to forcibly tell your mate that you love her?
Send an autogram.
Send an autogram. Juggle a blowfish. Send an autogram.
Don't like blowfish? Try a pufferfish.
Send an autogram.
Tell your producer they could be doing so much better with an autogram.
You could be doing better over there, bitch.
Where's the autogram?
Don't worry, Gramps gonna start stomping your head any second.
HR will now only send disciplinary reports via autogram. All right, it's set
Are
now.
you tired of dad jokes? Send an autogram.
Oh, it'll definitely tell you some dad jokes then. All right, we're ready to do this, kids?
No. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
I'm Ken Macco from Forest Hill, Maryland, supporter of the Manchester United. Prettier than Jack Grealish and the official daddy of all Arsenal and Everton fans. And you are listening to the DU Football Show.
Well, they were boisterous this weekend, weren't they?
Yeah, and their fans didn't seem even too chuffed with winning their first trophy in 6 years.
Yeah, they were really fucking about it.
Yeah.
Ugh. Fortunately, we're going to give it exactly the amount of time it deserves. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me, send it with an autogram in his fucked up hair, Mr. Samuel Graham. Sammy, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. Blow is the street word for cocaine, right? So if they made this underwater, it could be called blowfish.
You're really sticking to that one, aren't you?
Me and Mel had a meeting while you were getting ice.
Yeah, and the meeting was for you to do that at injury time, not main show.
I thought you said when they hit the icebreaker, ready to
At
come
injury
in.
time.
I thought you meant here. Whatevs. Patreon.com/DU Football Show to hear what the fuck we were talking about in the extra content.
Want to tell your co-host he's done fucked up. Do it with an autogram. I can't get out the
Hey, take a look in the mirror, cunt. You fucked up.
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, review, and share with a footballing friend. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
It's at autogram.com.
Say it with an autogram.
Houston, remember those listeners we just picked up?
Yeah, they're all gone.
I can hear them.
and
I can hear them swiping right.
Yeah.
If you want to win back your new listeners, say it with an autogram.
Hey, open the podcast app. Push play. It's at DU Football Show on all the social medias and dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
Excellent, excellent. And or, as I like to say, you got PTO to burn. You got nothing else to do. Might as well get in your car and drive your happy ass over here.
Got some zip car points.
Just
As we
show
got
the
our-
fuck up.
Got our girl Cole back with us again, hanging out.
Is that a sore subject? Is your car in the shop?
Oh, no, not
okay.
at all. Yeah, I don't. Actually, yes. No, my car is in the shop, and it's got some stuff that's really fucked up. Probably just going to be renting a car for a while.
Upset
But
with
in
your
the
mechanic?
meantime-
Say it with an autogram.
Hey, fix my shit.
Now, bitch!
God, would you please? Like, yeah, just
And tell me the real price. Don't lie.
Graham just humping the hood of your car. Hi, Cole. How you doing, darling?
I'm doing good.
Work like a woman.
We have been for those you don't know, we've been
That sucks.
together now for about an hour and a half, and this has been the
Yeah.
attitude since go. So it's just
Because much
The
like
entire
bears, we all like cocaine too. Just kidding. Just kidding.
yeah, but if you
yeah,
were
that's
the
a
bear,
joke.
you really like cocaine. See, you missed a key part there. You just said people like cocaine. Well, this bear really
likes-
liked cocaine.
Yeah, you're
So-
right. We just actually juggled around a blowfish. I couldn't keep a straight face.
Or was it a puffer?
or was it a puffer?
Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So is the red-blooded Americans we are. We vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, we have cracked the top 10.
We're
Get
into
into
the top
it.
half of the table, something Chelsea knows nothing about. Boom. Bazinga.
That's a dig.
Somebody get the
We haven't
cold
done that
cream.
for a long time. Wow, that's a throwback. This is Nelson Brothers Reserve. Comes in at 53.9% by volume. If you are keeping track at home, that is 107.8 proof. Should run you about $60. Of course, the list has been out now for a few months. Always tack on probably $10 to $15 minimum for that kind of stuff. But this is pretty readily available, I think.
Very readily available. So the price really hasn't gone up on it. You can find this with relative ease.
The panel rated it a 93. It is a bourbon whiskey. Excuse me. And your blurb comes to you courtesy of David Fleming from the Whiskey Advocate Tasting Panel. Charlie and Andy Nelson resurrected the family company in 2009, a century after it was shuttered by Tennessee's prohibition laws. Initial efforts focused on a second label, Belle Meade, which scored well. This year came the first releases bearing the family name on two bourbon labels, Nelson Brothers Classic and Reserve. Both have carried on the legacy admirably. This one packs a punch, but is soft and gentle at the same time, offering red berry and vanilla malt aromas and a palette of melted marshmallow, coconut shavings, and baked apple. Like all good whiskeys, it saves the best for last with a long, creamy finish of chocolate and spice. If you want to tell your partner she does the same thing, say it with an autogram.
Hell yeah, you should.
I like it. I think it's delicious. I think the water really helped getting it over ice. It was a little hot for me at first, but I think it's delicious.
Yeah, well, even neat, it was a little hot for 107. It drank a little bit more like a 118, or a 120. It was a little hot. Ice has helped it a lot.
Yeah.
But it was good neat. It was very good neat. It's exceptional with a little bit of a chill to it. This is just old school fuck you bourbon, man.
Yeah, it's just good bourbon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I enjoyed it neat. I thought it was freaking delicious.
I know Charlie Nelson very well. The day that we took Mel.
I know Charlie Nelson.
Yeah, took
That's
Mel.
Willie Mel.
We took Mel and I were in Nashville. We swung by, saw the distillery, hung out with Andy and Charlie.
Was Jan with us?
Jan did not come to the distillery, but when we went there, I worked with Charlie in the market. I want to say 4 different times while I was with Bacchus when I was the spirit specialist, and we represented the Belle Meade line. He and I legitimately just sobbed on the phone together for 15 minutes the day Dave died. We just sat there and just cried. He called me and it was just like, what the fuck, man? And we sat there, we drank whiskey, we cried, and we were like, neither one of us are going to remember tonight. He's a good man. I love his brand. I love what they do. I know that they're moving away from Belle Meade as a line. They're going to really kind of embrace Greenbrier, Nelson's Greenbrier, and really focus on what it is they're currently doing.
They're not discontinuing Belle Meade.
It's just not going to be a focus.
Okay, so they're going to continue to produce it, and they're just not coming out with new marks or fun finishes or any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and really the idea is to move forward with, they already did the Nelson's Greenbrier Tennessee whiskey, which we had on the show, which was exceptional. And then also this one as well, which is also exceptional. And we're already about half bottle, and we're going to have to buy another bottle because she ain't making it through the night, I don't think.
Probably not. That's quick turnaround by him.
Who do we get there?
Well, there's 2 developments during the first part of the show. First, Christian has got us on the big screen in his house so he can work on dank memes during the show. But Taylor already sent me that one.
Just for a few pennies more, you can send a singing autogram. Nobody wants to hear Graham sing.
If you listening out there want to become part of the live show shenanigans, we do this every Monday on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook group.
Yeah, everywhere. We're everywhere. Wherever you watch your videos. We're on YouTube as well.
YouTube.
I knew I was forgetting one.
I'm finding everything.
I was running through everything in my head. I was like, no, she already said that. We're not on that one.
The Twitters. The Twitter twitchings.
Isn't that what Elon Musk does now?
Twitches with his Twitter?
Twitter?
Oh, yeah.
Twitter twitching?
Mm-hmm.
So universally...
Have you paid our $8 yet, or do we have a blue tick?
We have to pay one for Facebook, too. Facebook wants to charge us $12 soon.
What?
Yep.
So people believe us?
Yeah.
That we know what we're talking about?
Uh-huh.
Well, he's got a blue tick, Sam.
Oh, yeah. That says everything.
I'll just make you one in the graphics department.
And we'll just put it up there. It'll be fine. Universally, this is a great fucking bourbon. It's not hard to find. Go find it. Buy this bottle. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, and you'll be very happy with it. That's very simple. Just like the Nelson's Greenbrier Tennessee whiskey, which is a little even less. I think it's like $35 at the most.
Yeah,
and that was absolutely stellar. So
yeah, they're both very good whiskeys for sure. This is just good fuck bourbon.
Yeah,
I mean that's just
There's
no kind of bells or whistles about it. There's no like super special. This is just a good fucking bourbon whiskey.
Yeah, precisely.
Absolutely delicious.
All right, what else we got to do, Mr. Grab?
Always remember to juggle your blowfish responsibly.
I heard. Let's do this. All the tapping all over the place.
All the tapping.
I'm sorry, Grandma.
You want that for Earth Day?
I hit you in the unt right there.
Get you closer to tapping. An autogram.
Tell everybody this weekend's action was really fucking drab with an autogram. We start with the bottom of the table as the teams just seem to be switching spots from week to week to week. Aston Villa 2, Everton 0, Leeds 1, Southampton 0, West Ham 4, Nottingham Forest 0.
Sam, you forgot one here.
Oh, who did I forget?
Chelsea.
Oh, that's right.
By the way, I sometimes I sometimes like to give people a little insight into what injury time and some of the extra things they get with their Patreon subscription.
Yeah.
So on Patreon, we always have side beers, right? We tell you on this show about the whiskey we're drinking because we are spirit-based people for the most part. But we always have side beers that we discuss on Injury Time, which is our preview show to the upcoming week, right? And $5 a month, you get both of the extra shows. Soundcheck, which is pre-show, Injury Time, post-show / preview of the next week. But I like to theme my beer sometimes just based on names because I like all beer for the most part. There's 2 or 3 types that I don't really care for. So I'll buy stuff based on name just to try something new and tie it into the show. And since I just mentioned Chelsea, this one's called 1-24, which I think is the record for the last 24 games in all competitions. And it's got rainbows. So if you subscribe, you'll understand why that's funny and needs to be in this bit right now.
Oh, boy.
Get in.
Get that double hi-hat
Come on.
right there. Very well done. Love it. And let's just start by saying this is a shortened weekend. There was only 8 matches because the League Cup was decided this weekend between Newcastle and Manchester United. And after 6 years, yay, Manchester United has won a fucking cup.
Yes, they did. Ultimately, I thought it was a good game, which a lot of cup finals are not. They tend to be pretty turgid, but I thought both teams had a go at each other. There were a few testy moments, but Manchester United were mainly comfortable. I did like Joe Linton going fucking ham for a minute, though. That was pretty fun.
We are already speaking enough about them than we need to. The Manx ran amok in the closed group this fucking weekend.
So annoying.
It was... Ray wished Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a fucking happy birthday. That's how fucking unbearable the fucking Manx were in our fucking group this weekend. The minute they won, it was like, glory, glory, Man United! I'm like, shut the fuck up. Dear sweet Jesus, you all just don't want to remember that the last trophy you won was from Jose Mourinho, so you just want to forget that ever fucking happened. That's what you're gunning for.
For any other people that like to get stuck in and other kind of alpha banter talkers in the group, I would like to start a support group because now I know what SEALs feel like.
Jesus,
with the way these Manchester United fucking fans were acting this weekend. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yes.
Who's that?
Christian already has his first one up. It says, always remember to juggle your blowfish responsibly. I was like, that was fast.
Yes.
It's just an otter head on my body.
Standing.
What? Although we know this was
you.
said while with Tottenham, I think it applies here.
Like we say in Portugal, bread is bread and cheese is cheese. Didn't bring to the game not just the basics of football, I believe the basics of life.
I feel you brought to the closed group not just the basics of shit talking, but the basics of life. I just have to say. And that's it. We're done talking about them. We talk about them every week, and I don't want to talk about them anymore. So we're done. That's it. They can fuck off.
Congratulations. Well done. Fuck off now.
Newcastle, you're heading in the right direction. I hate to compare you to Man City oil money, but your Man
eventually
City
that will be the case. They have
oil death money money.
They haven't spent exorbitantly yet, really. I mean, especially when you look at what Chelsea's doing.
Yeah.
What Newcastle's doing has gone a little bit more under the radar because of it. But it's also not, they're not blowing transfer records out of the water either. You know what I mean?
Only a matter of time.
Of course. But, I hope for their sake, for their club's sake, for their fans' sake, that Eddie Howe looked at those boys in a dressing room and said, remember this feeling. You don't want to have this feeling again.
Yeah. Next time, go win it.
And then he opened his autogram. Do better, cunts!
Villa and Everton. This game is ultimately decided by that penalty. Because for the most part, if you're watching the match, the opportunities were Everton's. They were very much Everton's.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, this
we just can't fucking score.
There's a running theme this weekend, and this kind of is going to get us going in the for the storyline of pretty much the whole weekend. Is that everything was pretty statistically even, but everything was completely devoid of quality in the final third.
It was just not. I tell you, Everton had chance after chance after chance, and no one wanted to take a shot on goal. Like, it would be like, oh, it landed on Dwight McNeil's right foot, so he has to put it on his left foot. You're a professional footballer, use your other foot. Then Decore, it was on his right foot. He was on his left foot. He needed it on his right foot. Just take a fucking chance. Like Mope, same thing. Like,
just
there were
the ball.
so
Yeah,
many opportunities where it's like they needed to set it up perfectly. You're a professional footballer. Just fucking have a go.
You can't score.
Have a go.
You can't score if you don't shoot the ball. FIFA are trying to implement a rule to stop goalkeepers from shithousing during penalties.
Right.
Emi Martinez was asked about this post-match when he was interviewed. Do you know what he said?
Oh, what did he say?
I've already saved the penalties I need to save. They could put in whatever rules they want.
And the shithousery continues.
Fucking mic drop.
When he said it, did he then like hump the air ferociously, like
grabbed Jeff
grabbing the
Shreves
imaginary
by the collar of
question
his
by the
shirt and
head?
skull fucked him.
And just
Yeah.
Oh my dear God! Yeah, this again. Villa, very simply put, took advantage of their opportunities, and when Diaz's the second goal by Buendia was
good. That would piss Sean Dice the fuck off. I don't support you. Obviously,
Yeah.
I don't root for y'all. And that pissed me off. How easily Buendia just blew past Connor Cody. It was
Piss poor
absolutely
defending.
fucking pitiful.
It's so I don't want to get too deep into it, but
I'd be
one of
embarrassed.
in the Everton circles, one of the questions that's
Embrace
been
your
going
inner
on.
otter. Get stuck in.
Right. Well, one of the questions that's been going on is you have Yuri Mina on the bench.
Yes.
He's fucking healthy. Why is Connor Cody still out there? Because yeah, Mina may get hurt, but wouldn't you rather just put him out there and actually get hurt?
Does Jerry Mina speak English yet?
He's a better fucking defender.
He's been there for 4 years. Does
Yes,
he
he
speak
does.
English yet?
Yes, he does.
All right, then there's no reason.
He's a better fucking defender.
That he should be out there.
He's a better defender. He's
Because
a
I can
way
understand
better
if they
defender.
can't communicate.
Right.
You put in Connor Cody.
He's a way better defender. Just like, and then there's like a buy-on clause for Cody at like 4.5 million, and there's people going, oh yeah, we should exercise that. 4.5 million for a 30-year-old central defender. Are you fucking kidding me? No,
You know
no.
Dice is doing it, right? Dice is
Oh,
going to do
God,
that.
I hope he doesn't, but he probably will.
He will. Absolutely. 100%.
Here's the big thing for Villa, the really big notable thing for Villa. Matty Cash started. He was finally fully healthy. Luca Digne starting, finally fully healthy. God, it's Boubacar Kamara started in midfield. Like, McGinn finally back and playing regularly. They're getting healthy at the right time. This is very big for them. And also, I mean, they have Everton's fucking number.
Yeah. And Douglas Luiz dyed his hair back blonde, and there's no stopping him when he's blonde.
You know the
True
other
fact.
Brazilians
I'd like
that
to
did
stop
that?
him.
I'm sorry
With
to take
which
it.
body part?
I'm sorry to take it back to the Carling Cup final. Or Carling, that's an old reference. The Carabao Cup final for a second. Did you notice Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Linton both had dyed blonde hair?
Yeah.
It tends to be a big Brazilian thing for whatever reason. Super bleached blonde hair, but they also put the black Newcastle stripes in a heart down kind of on the corner, like top of their neck behind their ear.
Oh, yeah?
Dyed into their hair.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Graham Souness must have been losing his fucking mind. But yeah, that was so. All three Brazilians did that. You know, that super bleach blonde dyed hair look this weekend. And you're right about that. When Douglas Luiz has the fresh hairdo, plays better.
Plays better. Plays
He
better.
does.
Now, did this to me? John McGinn's proper return here was kind of like when Kim Kardashian came back to Keeping Up with the Kardashians after that season she took off when her and Kanye were going through trouble. The best butt finally showed back up.
Yeah,
And,
so
There was really nothing that happened
and,
this weekend. I had to just try to manufacture a joke. I'm sorry, everyone.
Y'all want to
I'm
give
really
the credit
sorry.
to Ollie Watkins and Buendia, and that's great. But shout out to my man Tyrone Mings.
okay.
There was a spot where he saved a goal from going
Oh, that's
in.
true. Yeah,
He did
saving
clear
it
a
off
ball
the
off the
line.
line. Yeah, he did clear a ball off the line.
And
Yeah,
then
that would have been.
Pickford and Emmy both had brilliant saves. Emmy in the first half on
Jordan
the header.
Pickford signed a new contract.
Yes, he
Oh
did.
yeah, Emmy, the first one. Who was the stop against?
That was against Onana. Yep.
What's my name?
Yeah.
He
wait.
so confident.
Oh, nah.
So apparently, so confident in Everton staying up, Jordan Pickford's new contract that runs, I think, till 2027 does not have a mandatory sell clause for relegation.
Yeah, that was one of the big hangups that Everton, for the most part, is saying we're not doing that shit. That's we're near the bottom right now. We're in trouble. We're not that kind of club. So sign a contract and you're with the club. And if we sell you on, we sell you on. But it's not we have to sell you on.
They're going to sell him after
yeah.
you get relegated because they'll need to pay for a season in the championship.
If they don't get relegated, they're still selling them. I
think so?
I think him and David Raya are the two most sought after keepers, and I think
So which one ends up at Chelsea? Which one ends up at Manchester United? Those are the only two places
I'm
they're
going to
going.
say Raya ends up at United.
You think Pickford goes to Chelsea?
I think Pickford goes to Chelsea or Pickford goes to Spurs, because Spurs was another landing spot they've been talking about as well.
If he also wants to continue to not win trophies, that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, that would be a great idea. Sorry.
Well, apparently that was the best joke I've ever told.
That was a great joke. Got me all
that was
choked
like
up.
the summer of whooping cough in my family.
Yeah.
It was not funny unless me and my brother almost died
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But
from coughing while laughing. Yeah.
here's the other thing. Don't look now. Villa is even on points with Chelsea. They're just behind them in goal differential.
They've won more games than Chelsea
Yeah,
at
exactly.
this stage
So,
of the season.
here's to not scoring goals, even though getting tons of opportunities.
The trademark of a Sean Dyche side.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're
The inchworm giveth, the inchworm taketh away.
hey, we're 0-2-6 against Villa since they've gotten promoted. Woo! Yay!
Good job.
I can move that out of the way because nobody else has to do one.
Yep.
Even though the FAA did get back
And there was
And
an illegal landing somewhere.
and said because there was
did
no
Hurricane's
interference in the
ball finally come
airspace
down?
that she should have to do another shot because of that, but we'll let that one slide. I just want to let you know the FAA did speak on what you had to say last week.
That was a big thing in the closed group
It
this
was.
weekend. A
It was
lot of
all
people
of them
jumped
were
on that.
hilarious.
I
Russ
love
has
You guys
it.
already
were on
started
point.
it again today.
I love it.
Garcia era has begun at Leeds, and it starts with a massive fucking win.
I think it's Gracia.
Gracia, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's like I think his name is Eric. Thank you.
Yeah, heard.
Pretty much.
Heard. Very good.
Sans S though.
Big win. Big win for Leeds.
You look less than impressed. Is that bad? They already look more.
Terrible. It was terrible.
They already look more organized.
Yes.
They already look more disciplined. They already just look better, which is great. So we can hate them again.
Right.
So really, for defensively, for probably 18 months, this is the best that they've looked. That being said, Southampton did have a few chances and refused to take any of them. I think they fell to the wrong people in some cases.
Yeah.
But there's still some positivity surrounding Southampton and the way they're playing at the moment. I don't think they're going to have enough to get over the line. Personally, I think they're
tend to
pretty.
agree.
I think they're pretty nailed on going down, despite their performances being a bit better.
Well, and that's what I was about to say. They're running out of chances.
Yeah.
Is essentially what it comes down to. They're
Yeah,
just
pretty
running
much.
out of chances.
And at some point soon, they're going to have one of those tough runs where they play like, United, Arsenal, and then Tottenham in 3 games in a row, and they're just going to dig themselves a bigger hole because you guys look better. Leeds now looking better. I worry for Southampton big time here.
Yeah, agreed. Would you say it's a culture change at Leeds? It felt like an automatic culture change.
It did. The Americans didn't try to fight anybody. That was good.
That was nice.
Yeah, but no, they controlled the ball. They controlled they looked disciplined and ready to go. And much like you guys, that's after 4 training sessions? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the way that you guys looked against us that first game out under Dyche.
Right, looked disciplined.
You had, 6 training sessions maybe? Mm-hmm. This is the immediate impact that these managers have, especially these kind of, these task managers, these guys that just, this is your fucking job, go do your job, and if you do your job, we'll win. There's no qualms, there's no bells and whistles, there's no sparklers, there's no grand finale.
Yeah.
Just go do, it's just a well-oiled machine. And
just dumb things like come out onto the training ground. It's like, where's your shin guards and your socks? Oh, the last coach didn't make us. Well, you're not prepared to play fucking football then. Go inside and fucking get dressed.
Well, that's it. You practice like you play, right?
Run your ass into the ground. It's like, oh, you had it easy with the last guy. Well, you know what? Somebody needs to kick you in the ass. And that's what it definitely felt like for Leeds, is that it's just somebody who kicked him in the fucking ass.
I am proud to say that Javi Gracia, was the very first patron of autograms.
Now that was a good one.
Very well done. Irons get a ton of goals, including a Danny Ings brace.
I get worried that they just blew their load because they don't score a ton of goals.
No, they don't. They do not.
So, did you hear the post-match here? This was also quite funny. David Moyes said something like, I don't, get too up or too down about any one particular result, but this was a good result. And I don't really see any reason why I can't have a glass of wine tonight, do you? And the reporter was like, I mean, I guess not. Like the reporter was kind of dumbfounded.
Ferryman gonna do what the ferryman want, man.
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
that's how he rolls.
Wine is for winners.
Yeah, he's exactly. yeah, he's of a certain age and Glaswegian. No one's gonna tell him to stop. Number one.
Yeah, no.
Number two, despite how rich he is, he's Glaswegian. We all know what that is.
Right.
That's a big glass of Bucky, isn't it?
Yeah, a big old glass of the Bucky. It's a wine, and it's a caffeinated wine. That's the important thing to know.
Flavored malt beverage.
And it's made by monks.
It's made by monks, so you know it's got to be good.
Well, it's also going to bring good fortunes and the blessing of the Lord down upon us. Much like it has the city of Glasgow over the last 500 years.
Don't look now, Forrest.
Right.
Don't look now, Forrest. You're 4 points from the drop. You're not that far off from the drop, and a couple of bad results can find you in a bad way very, very quickly, and your goal differential is horrific.
It's terrible.
And this didn't help.
I want to bring something else funny to the table. Another post-match situation. Steve Cooper, notable alien, said, the boys have to realize what they've done today. We're going to have a grown-up conversation about everything that happened. That sparked something in my head.
Okay.
Would you or would you not want Steve Cooper to teach you about the birds and the bees? Because that's what it sounded like, and it made me terribly uncomfortable. I don't want somebody that is not of this world to be teaching me about the birds and the bees.
Yeah, no, I don't want that at all.
Specifically because I'm not gay. I don't care if you are or if the bees are.
Sound check for that one. Sam's very proud of that joke.
And Mel's not listening.
Sometimes he laughs to himself. Right now he's laughing to himself.
Sometimes I just do stuff for me, and that one was for me. I still don't want to learn anything from Steve Cooper about sex.
Do you want to learn something about jokes? The best way to send it with an autogram.
Just take your pants off and get to fucking.
Rounding out the rest of the league so that happened. I turned pages before I got to it all.
This is what happens when I tell you guys we got a big audience bump. Like, great, let's fuck it off.
This is funny. This is good. This is better jokes than the last week the league gave us nothing to talk about.
Yeah, that's true.
Fulham 1, Wolverhampton 1, Arsenal 1, Leicester City 0, Manchester City 4, Bournemouth 1, Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 0, Tottenham 2, Chelsea 0. Great home point for the Wolves. Like every
Definitely.
match, and this is you.
This is another one, just like the Leeds and you guys. Lopetegui's made a world of fucking difference the moment he walked through the door.
Yeah, and they're still in trouble. They're not out of it, but little points like this are important, and holding serve in your building is very important.
100%. And they had the better chances in the game, really, Wolves
Yeah.
did.
Well, it took a worldie by Jedi.
I thought they were excellent. Yeah, definitely.
That goal from Robinson.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Fucking fantastic.
I thought they were great, Wolves, in the game, really. And excuse me, in terms of the football back and forth, I think this was probably the best game of the weekend. Both teams had chances here.
Yeah, I would agree.
Really?
I would agree.
I think Wolves were the better team, but both teams had opportunities.
Yeah, because the rest of the weekend sucked.
It was terrible. I mean, that's why you're getting a lot of real cheesy shit and a lot of stuff from our from Soundcheck.
Yeah,
because there isn't really much to talk about.
Won a very good game.
It's sometimes the league does this to us, and we do our best to figure it out.
Speaking of which, none better of an example than Arsenal versus Leicester.
It was all one-way traffic, but devoid of any real quality.
Yeah.
It looked like a training session.
Yeah.
And I don't want to watch that. It sucks.
I think the Trossard goal, it's a little iffy on if Ben White was interfering in the offsides. I don't know. I think it's questionable.
I think it's ridiculous that the referee overturned that. I think Doug initiated that contact with Ben White. Ben White maybe held him a little bit, but I also don't think he impeded him at all.
Right.
He chose to flap at it with his left hand for no reason. The ball was already past him before he jumped.
Right.
And what Ben White was doing had no effect on that. It was a little bit ridiculous. The best moment this is how bad the game was. The best moment of the game for the neutral was Trossard's disallowed goal.
Right. Yeah.
The best moment of the game for Arsenal supporters was a kind of nostalgic Gabriel Martinelli looking like Thierry Henry the way he just rolled the ball to the far corner.
Right.
But nobody else is going to, I mean, a lot of people will remember it. Nobody else is going to care about it like we do. And it was actually quite frustrating.
Really?
It was, I mean, this was like the epitome of blue balls.
This
This is kind of why people don't like soccer, is you could be dominant for so long and not fucking score.
Right, but for
People
you,
get mad about it.
You get the win, and even more importantly, the story off the field is really the big part. Bukayo Saka gets signed to a new deal.
Yes. Huge.
Typically,
Massive.
Arsenal loses young talent to big teams because they don't step up and pay them. Arsenal has gone, you're our highest paid player.
But they also didn't do the dumb shit and pay somebody $325 a week so they fuck off and don't do anything.
Right.
I think, but he's one of our own coming through Hale End. He's going to be, the face of the club for the next, and rightly so, and very, very welcome from us supporters. He's going to be the face of the club for the next, 5-6 years. I think it is. I think it was a 5-year deal, but I don't, unless things sour for whatever reason, I don't see him going anywhere. He's an excellent player. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's a good lad. After, we spoke about it at nauseum, what happened after the Euros to Rashford, Sancho, and Saka, with the abuse that they took after missing their penalties in the European Championship finals. Mm-hmm. And all three of them, now Rashford and Sancho especially, took it very hard. Rashford looked well off the pace for a while, but Ten Hag has sorted him out a bit. And kind of what Ten Hag has done at Manchester United was Saka didn't need that time for whatever reason. The other two did, but they were open about their experience. They were open about what was happening to them, and they went to the manager and said, I'd like a little bit of time off, basically. I need to get my head right after what was going on. He gave it to them. And Rashford has already surpassed his single-season record, his personal single-season record of goals.
Yeah.
And this is after all the work he did during COVID and after COVID with feeding needy school children that the Tory government wouldn't do until he brought it to light. And all three of them now kind of do the same celebration with the just keep your mind right.
Right. Yep. Always point to their head.
And Jadon Sancho recently, 3 games ago, I think it was, just came back from, 2-3 months essentially out of the team to get his mind right. And Eric Ten Hag afforded them that opportunity.
Yeah.
And both of them have grasped it. Saka didn't need that. He's just continued his meteoric rise, which is good on him. Shows, his kind of steel that he's got within him, which is a good sign. Not that, needing help is weak or anything. And it's important that people talk about sports people needing help because they're seen as the epitome of man and all that kind of crap. But they, I'm just really proud of him, really proud of all three of them. They're excellent.
Gotta feel proud for the club, too, because they're not letting one get away.
Yeah.
Which they often would always
massive.
let one get away.
For sure. We would always, Arsene Wenger had an economic degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we needed to pay for something, he would sell a player to make sure we had that budget.
Right, precisely.
Also partially because the Cronkies wouldn't fund that move. Now, for whatever reason, they are funding those moves, which is welcome.
Fucking training session for City against Bournemouth.
Yeah, it was about the same thing as our game. They just are better at finishing than we are.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Bournemouth for sticking around, getting a goal, and being a little plucky.
No, fuck Bournemouth for getting a goal. They cost me 173 U.S. American dollars. Okay, I had a $5 bet that had an 8-way parlay in it, and the only thing I needed was City to win to 0. To finish that bet, I had goal scorers.
9-way parlay.
I had goal scorers. I had assist makers. I had money lines. I had spreads all throughout this bet, and I needed City to win to 0. And in the 83rd minute, Lerma figured out the way he was going and put it in the other opponent's net for a change because he's normally
not
good
gambling,
and fucking ruined it.
Terrible with money.
Hey, whiskey, I think covered it all right there, pretty much. Terrible with money.
Yeah,
I like how Sam's holding the unt glass, just kind of looking at me, doing the side eye. Well, just maybe bet better, Sam, much like you bet in our
How about
normal
just do
segment.
your job better? You can let somebody that needs to know how to do their job better to do so with an autogram.
Heard. The Cherries now have 8 matches at home. 6 of them are against the top half of the table. This is going to be very, very tough for them.
Oh, yeah. I fear for them. They're going back down. I think it is kind of without question, personally.
And then if there was a drab match, a really, truly drab match, fucking Palace and Liverpool.
Oh, my God, was that turgid. You're sharing this, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Share that with your husband, please.
Just, God.
That was fucking
awful.
atrocious. This weekend was probably the worst advert for the Premier League, and according to Mel, this show is the worst advert for us.
Yeah, apparently. Go figure.
Yeah.
Liverpool needed to continue the momentum because the next match is United.
Yes.
And if they're going to be in the discussion for Champions League, they need to beat United. This match did not say they're going to beat United.
No, but it's points on the board again, right? I mean, people are dropping points that they don't expect left, right, and center. Look at City against Forest a couple weeks ago. Look at you against Villa, really, with the way the game played out. I mean, people are dropping points they shouldn't drop all over the gaff. So points on the board
you
is better
against
than
us.
Okay.
I'd like to remind you of that.
Points on the board
Or Brentford.
Yeah.
are better. That's a VAR issue. Points on the board are better than no points on the board, and they're continuing to gather points, and that can only mean one thing, and that's them moving up, in my opinion.
One thing that is
They
positive.
still don't look like themselves. They need a complete refresh in midfield. They have a lot of problems, Liverpool do, but they're starting to figure it out. Where I don't trust Tottenham, for instance, next week to go out and win.
Right, true. Jota is starting to show his feet again.
Him coming back is huge for them.
Yeah.
And finding his feet again is massive for them.
And it felt like this match was it felt like, okay, Jota, get out there and find your feet again. Nothing else really matters. Like, just get out there and do what you can. And he had a couple of good rips, but ultimately the match was never really going nowhere, and it really didn't feel like Liverpool was ruthless.
Just get out there and see. Nothing really matters. It's Palace and Liverpool. Nothing really matters but Jota. Doom, doom,
No.
doom, doom.
Anywhere the
wind
cocaine
blows.
blows.
Because, Klopp has a thing with the wind.
He also has a thing with his teeth. There's a lot of things between him, Queen. Oh, my God. Get Jurgen Klopp, Freddie Mercury, and some bees together, and you got yourself a motherfucking party. Yeah, you're
Well, it was windy like crazy. People love when I talk about the wind, but it was windy, and it's not good for football. And so we had really to work hard.
Really work hard because it was windy, of course. Tottenham completely dominate Chelsea.
We just had a really difficult time because most of my players like cocaine.
We played Brighton Hove and Albion. It was too many teams for us. So how can we do better? Like I said, Tottenham completely dominate Chelsea.
Yeah, it was the first half, though, was some of the worst fucking football I've ever seen in my life. I was looking more forward to the MLS that afternoon than I was
Jesus.
like 15 minutes into this game watching the rest of it. It was fucking pitiful.
It really was. God, it was terrible.
This game, really frustrates me is Sergio Romero.
Mm-hmm.
He is such a good defender, but he is such a prick.
Oh, God, yeah.
Stop diving. Stop doing this, that, the other. It's ridiculous. Also, question. Why did Hakim Ziyech not get sent off?
If someone could barely put heads to heads and barely nudge their head forward, and that is a red card, how is a smack to the face not a fucking red card?
He smacked Emerson Royale like he didn't bring in his keep from the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
That evening. You know what I'm saying? He smacked him like he owed him money.
And it just Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch. That's how he smacked him.
Yeah, exactly. He looked like a queen, and Emerson Royale was his drone. Where's my pollen?
Where's my pollen? Get it for me.
Drones can't do pollen. You taught me that.
Yeah.
Those would be bee drones, not the kind that fly around and drop bombs.
Or the ones that fly around and stop football matches.
Hey!
And confuse other Brummies, because apparently that whole population is about as smart as Jack Grealish. Is that the first one, or is that the police one? Everything my baseball. Great movie. That's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
Anyway, Ollie Skip, stand up and be counted.
Oh, that was a great
Wait to
hit.
remind Antonio Conte you're actually a part of the team. Because I'm sure when he was sitting at home recovering from that surgery he had 3 weeks ago.
Who's that lad?
By the way, I don't think he's still recovering. I think they asked him not to come back.
Because they're winning.
Tottenham's playing better.
Because they're winning games.
Correct. And the surgery is used as an excuse to keep him away because he is too fucking intense to stay away on his own, and he doesn't strike me as the type to listen to a doctor. But that's just me. Except his hair transplant doctor. He listened to that guy to fucking letter of the law. The letter of the law, because that thing is held on brilliantly. But no, I'm sure he was sitting at home going, who's that? Turning out for my club. And then he strikes that ball, and now he's going to start every game for the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah, definitely will. You know what? It's not pretty, and they did have that massive blunder against Leicester. Spurs are finding a way, man. They really are.
Well, Tottenham, or Chelsea didn't help themselves, and this is solely on Graham Potter, in my opinion. The second goal, especially, if you set up your team to have Raheem Sterling marking Harry Kane on a set piece, you're out of your depth. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Raheem Sterling is about 5'7",
Yeah,
and Harry Kane is about 6'3".
right.
What are you doing?
And then also when he breathes from his mouth, it lifts him a little bit higher from the ground.
Correct. And I'm sure he farts a lot, too. He just strikes me as a guy that farts a lot. I don't know why, but he does. But why would Raheem Sterling be marking Harry Kane in the first place? He's also not a defender. Yeah. So why would you have a defender marking arguably the best striker, the most complete striker in England at the present moment? It doesn't make any sense. Sergio Romero should be marking him.
Right.
Emerson Royale should be marking him.
Right.
Somebody that goes against him every fucking minute of the game at every other point in the game besides set pieces.
Right.
That's a managerial mistake. That is a failure of Graham Potter.
Yeah, very true.
And it's going to, there's going to be questions asked of him. And again, we've said it time and time again. I don't know anything other about the Bowleys other than the Dodgers, and they stuck with that dude when they were shit too. But they got to do something here, man, because Chelsea literally have scored the least amount of goals in fucking England. In all of league football, they have scored the least amount of goals since the start of November.
Yeah.
They've scored 6 fucking goals in 4 months.
Yeah, it's terrible.
6 goals in 4 months. It's pitiful. It's relegation form. It's terrible.
I just want to say, if I was Harry Kane, I'd want to be covered by Sergio Romero or Edison Royale, too, because, they're my teammates.
God damn it. You know what? It's not often I put my foot in my mouth, but sometimes I do. I meant Reece James or Koulibaly, who was not on the field, which I realized. Yeah.
That's an FAA violation right there.
I'm going to fucking...
That's definitely an FAA violation. No doubt about it.
I'm definitely going to not live that one down for a long time. One time, the first time this ever happened to me, I'm very careful what I say because I make fun of people a lot and never let them forget the dumb shit that they say. And I one time, a long time ago, said that I think I was drunk, that we should get my friendship group, my peers actually, not you old fucks. But I said something to the effect of we should open a 23-hour Subway. I meant 24-hour Subway because it's the only fast food restaurant that's not open 24 hours. But I said we should open a 23-hour Subway. Just misspoke. Simply misspoke. And I realized what I said, and I kind of sank in my seat for a second. I was like, I don't think anybody heard me. And then about 5 minutes passes, and somebody finally turns and goes, we just cleaning for that hour? Or and I was like, fuck. And for 7 years, they made fun of me for that.
Want to tell your co-host he fucked off? Say it with an autogram.
Hey, look in the mirror, cunt.
Well, since we have Cole here with us, and there was last time we were on, we didn't get to kind of cover everything that we wanted to. We just had a lot going on, a lot of games. Kind of wanted to chat a little bit with you, and there was something you wanted to bring up the last time you were here. Kind of want to open up the floor to you as you're talking about, how you've been approaching selecting your team and your thought process and your seriousness behind it.
So I do take it seriously, just number one, because you guys are a part of the pod and you do this wonderful show, but because there's a lot of chatter in the group, and all of my prior football experience was American football, and I dedicated a lot of time and energy to memorizing stats and watching games and all of that for that. So in my exploration of the other football, I wanted to treat it equally as seriously, and I didn't want to take it for granted that, oh yeah, I can just, watch this game that I used to play when I was a youngster and, blah, blah, blah. So I did take a long, hard look at the history of the clubs when I was making the decision to kind of narrow it down to the top two. But also, I have a bias towards the top two, and it is that they are both supported by female supporters that are part of the group.
Very cool. That makes perfect sense. That's perfectly fair. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Now, obviously, and that leads me into the next question here. I was going to say, tell me a little bit about the people you've chatted with. Obviously, one is directly across the table from you right here as far as Villa goes.
I wouldn't call that so much chatting as I would call it, and people in the football world will know this term, tapping up. I think she kind of overstepped her bounds in the affections of our sweet Nicole here. I don't think it's fair.
That's a pro-Arsenal agenda for those of y'all who are just new to the show and you're not really sure what that meant. This is it. You're hearing it for
Very
the first
good.
time.
I have
It's a great
no
example.
idea
Thank you
what
so much
you're
for
talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, Cole,
Yeah.
last time you were on here, he mentioned about inviting you up to the Abbey. Has that happened yet?
No.
I was actually
You
just
know
about to
what?
look at the schedule, number one. Number two,
So only when she's here do you think of her?
as an early middle-aged white man, what I'm hearing is that representation is important to you. What I'm not getting is the feeling that that's really important at all. Sorry, that's usually an injury time trope also.
Yes.
Sorry,
very
guys.
much so.
$5 a month, you get to hear all of our country opinions.
Also, Lindsay has been chatting with you as well about Villa too, right?
Yes, absolutely. And way back when you did kind of the preview and all of the supporters ran through, their teams and, what they found to be important to them about each of them. She was the one who gave the spiel about Villa. And, from that just little snippet and the passion that she brought through in that moment, I was like, okay, yeah, I can see myself going for this team.
And she had no idea that we were doing this bit at all.
Very good. That's true. She did not know. That was actually genuine. Well, same thing with our Aussie friend,
Yes.
Jane from for Brentford as well. Had no idea.
It's hard to compete against Jane.
Have you been able to chat with her at all and stuff like that?
I will admit I haven't. The one thing that I have been active with for Brentford is the Brentford USA on Twitter.
Okay, very good.
And they have a very active Twitter following supporter group. And so, that's been a lot of fun.
Very
The problem
cool.
with Jane is the time difference is a son of a bitch in it.
There's a huge
13
time
hours or
difference.
something.
Well, what we honestly need to be concerned about is that eventually she might get stung by the bee, and then envenomation takes over, and there's no saving her after that. Then we're just done.
Well,
done.
You know the easiest way to communicate with people across time zones?
How?
With an autogram.
You got to do the
Yell your greetings at your friends.
By the way, there may
with an autogram.
or may not have been bets going on whether or not you'd stumble upon Harry Otter or Graham Otter. But you just left them both
I
alone.
don't understand what that means.
Graham Potter.
Oh, nah, it's all Harry Potter jokes there.
Yeah, I heard.
No
and then
otter.
it could be Harry Otter. Nope. See, both those you didn't
Harry
get.
Otter.
As you can see, otters are already hairy.
Real quick, actually.
Yeah.
Speaking of Harry Potter, did anybody see Dejan Kulisevsky's little trip to the Harry Potter Museum /
Yes.
the King's Cross train station? With
yes.
9 3/4
To troll
And,
Potter.
and standing next to a photo of himself as a child.
Yes,
since he's a ginger lad.
Yes.
And it was him and Ron Weasley. That was totes adorbs.
So as we're going towards the end of the season, what's the process for the approach with these two teams? Or is it just continue to watch games, talk with supporters? Maybe kind of let us in on that.
So I do want to
Come to the Abbey.
No. Well, I mean, I do. I do want to go to the Abbey, and I do want that feeling of like being in the pub and enjoying
Sunday the 9th.
Sunday the 9th.
It'll be packed. Arsenal,
Okay.
Liverpool, and it's 11:30, so you can make your way from DC easier.
Excellent. Yeah, that'll be
Yeah,
awesome.
Sunday the 9th.
But yeah, like I have
it on the fucking
enjoyed
calendar.
going to.
Boom. Sorry, I got
I
excited.
have enjoyed watching matches with Mel, and I have just enjoyed watching Brentford just in general. Who doesn't enjoy watching Tyrone Mings? I mean,
I'm
and
like
now you have.
pound for pound, Villa's got all the ass and
I'm
meat.
just saying, and now they've got that cute little Ollie Watkins just to round it
Oh.
out.
Ollie Watkins with the dimples.
He's so
and,
cute.
And he is now 5 for 5. 5 goals in the
Yes.
past 5 games.
Yes.
Listen,
gonna
Leonardo
make-
and DiCaprio, can you guys calm yourselves down, please?
It's gonna make
Ollie
it
Watkins
super...
is a sweet boy, and you leave him alone.
He is a sweet boy. I called him cute.
Yeah.
But, I have not had to make the tough, hard decision of deciding which team to watch yet, because the weekends when they were both playing, I would just be like, okay, I'm just going to watch Palace or Crystal Palace, or I'm just going to watch Nottingham Forest or, one of the other teams. And I will watch both of those teams on replay. And even this past week, it was Villa, but there was no Brentford game.
Right.
So I haven't had to make that hard choice yet. I'm going to base part of my decision on where I fall in that.
I said it a few weeks back. It bears repeating that Palace was playing their bitter rival, you chose to watch Brentford versus Arsenal.
I did.
That told you all you needed to know.
It did.
You know,
Absolutely.
that tells you, oh, this is the team I clearly have more interest in. Especially considering that was Palace's be-all, end-all game of the season. That's their hot shit match. And you were like, I'd rather watch Brentford. Like, that says all you need to know.
Do you
It
know
really did.
what my ace in the hole is?
What's your ace in the hole?
Simon.
Oh, he thinks so.
Yeah.
He's a charming motherfucker.
You know what? And that's another
swoop in
thing.
at the 11th hour? Yes. I do believe I
that's
can do that.
absolutely what I'm also basing part of my decision on at this point is I went through and I wrote down all the notes about the history of both clubs. I'm also going through and looking at what the clubs are doing in their respective communities and the charitable work
Arsenal
that
does
they're
a ton.
doing. I know they do. And Simon
Is a charming
so
motherfucker.
good at
Yep.
like just promoting that part of
And Arsenal
club.
also, just saying, Arsenal are also known for being
dicks.
one of the first clubs to embrace black players. Which is why last week was 2 weeks ago was so disappointing against Brentford and some of the supportership doing what they did.
But also, you mean you can't sell Brentford short? They absolutely were like, you know what? We've done it before, and we've got a guy already getting sentenced for this kind of ass hattery. Think we won't support our players? Think we won't do
100%.
it again?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
absolutely
No,
fucking
Brentford,
will. And so yeah,
Brentford
they
deserved
did right
immense
by it.
credit. Yeah, 100%.
Just to let you know, my team does have a female COO. We do a ton
Well, what's
of
that
work
title?
in the
What's the third O for?
COO. Our team does a ton of work in the community, and I would like to repeat what I told you a couple weeks ago. Stay as far fucking away from Everton as humanly possible. You do not want this kind of hell. You don't want it. You do not want it. Okay, I'm back now. Final question for you, and then we're going to get on into the betting segment, is how have you enjoyed your first full season of the Prem? You know, you don't have a team yet. You're just kind of taking in this sport, this league, and everything around it. What do you think so far?
So far, you know, it took me a while to kind of get all the way there. Now I think I've got the bug. I'm watching the women's national team matches because those are on HBO Max.
Yep.
I'm watching.
They were on terrestrial cable this week.
Yes.
With the She Believes Cup.
Yep.
Yes.
Which has been brilliant to be able to tune into that live. I love watching their games. I love watching their games.
Smokey just wants to throw in a little bit about his team.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You don't want to be a West Ham fan. Their
away, stay very far
their club song is Forever Blowing Bubbles, right? And one of the main lines in the song is Fortune's always hiding. I've looked everywhere. They can't find Fortune. It's terrible.
Smokey says,
Like my dreams, they fade and die. Oh, it's so
You just
grim.
our club has a female president. Our club has a female presence on the board. Plus, we made our money from dildos.
The Dildo Brothers. That's true.
Yeah.
The Dildo Brothers.
okay.
So
I'm gonna take a harder look at that one.
And they also have my Danny Ings. So
Oh yeah, that's right.
They did sponsor Bill Kenwright's version of Cats
yeah, exactly.
as well. With their giant pink dildo.
ooh, that's another musical you can do. Otters.
All right. So Cole, you need to be ready early May is when you're going to have to come to a decision because we're not
Yeah.
going to do it the last show of the
No,
season because that's
no.
going to be us needing to wrap
Tidy
up
up
the
a bunch
season.
of shit. Yep.
You know,
But
and,
also,
and
I feel like it's gonna be too stressful for me.
also, God forbid that fucker wins the league. I'm barely going to be able to sit in this studio with his fucking ego. There's no way you're going to be able to.
No, I'm not going
calling
to be
out
that
that
way.
week.
He's going to fucking sob.
I'm not going to be that way.
Over under right now on how many times he starts to cry. We're going to set the number at 3.
Yeah.
Strong
Yeah,
over.
no,
Strong over.
I'm going with at least 5.
Yeah.
It depends. At what point does he start talking about how his kids are watching the game with him?
Oh,
Now, I have a
Some of
question.
that.
Are you gonna? Are we counting this as start and stop, or are we counting? Because I could tell you it's gonna be a hard under. I'll be sobbing the entire time. I will cry once for probably an hour and 30 minutes, which is about how long the show runs.
So Cole, no, either the third to final week of the season or the second final week of the season.
Okay.
You'll be back in here, and it'll be time to make that decision.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Excited?
I am a little bit.
The Monday, you know what?
I'm a little bit nervous.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to say right now. What we're going to do is you're coming back in on Monday, April 10th, if you can swing it.
Okay. I will see. I will check the
Talk
calendars.
about your experience at the pub with me watching Arsenal v Liverpool.
Yeah. Okay.
Seeing Simon in all of his glory, Mike in all of his glory.
Sure.
It's always about that pro
Hey,
Arsenal
hey.
agenda.
We may have the league wrapped up by then.
Sure money.
What I don't have wrapped up is our betting. I am down 2,400 American dollars. I wish it was Australian dollars because then it would at least be 22.75.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's 2,400, and that's a pain in my ass. Sammy, what is going on with you, my friend?
Well, Fulham drew because I gave them the big bump last week and talked about how fucking great they were, and they went ahead and drew. So I'm now down $1,568.
And now, Big Sam's Lock of the
Hey,
Week.
that was well done with the way you pushed the buttons there and made it all sound legit.
50% of the time, we get the production right 100% of the time, or 9.09090909% of the time. Works 100% of the time, baby.
You know what? In German, that's just 0000.
Heard. Very good.
Nine.
Nine.
That's how many bets I've gotten correct this year.
I have to take some kind of a parlay because I just can't pick a straight, like, maybe I win $100. Like, that's not going to chip away at all. So
Sammy's dipping his toes in the parlay game.
I've been doing it all season and losing miserably. I'm taking a parlay on one match.
Oh, okay. Same gamer.
United to beat Liverpool and both teams to score at plus 370.
Okay.
I think United
I actually don't mind that.
United's playing great ball, and I think this is at least a 2-1 match. I think it's absolutely a 2-1 match.
Am I the only one that teared up when Harry Kane lifted a trophy a little bit for everything he's been through? Do you think he points himself into the starting lineup this weekend?
Yeah. I'm amazed he didn't lift up the trophy, then hold it down and go and point right at it. Just for everybody to see.
Oh, fucking brilliant.
That's what I'm going with, plus 370.
All right, fair enough. Our friend has gone to sleep.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend, Pat's Pick of the Week.
Thank God for email, because I got one. dfootballshow@gmail.com if you'd like to get in touch. Well, I did not hit again last week, missing 2 out of 4 of my 4-way parlay. That's actually not bad. 50%, you'd be like, okay, that's pretty good, except for if it's on one bet, that don't pay no money.
Yeah, I had 50% of mine. I picked one right and one wrong.
Yep, I had 8 out of 9 on 3 different bets this weekend that don't pay no monies.
Nope.
I'm driving back from Myrtle Beach from my annual winter golf trip, so sorry I cannot join you all tonight. So this week, I'm going to put a 3-game parlay together with 3 big favorites. First, I'll take Arsenal over Everton, Liverpool over Wolves in the Wednesday matchups, and then I'll go to the weekend where City over Newcastle on Saturday morning. I'm going to risk $500
He's just going for broke.
to win $950, so I hope these favorites hit and make a dent in the crater-sized hole that I've dug myself. You guys have got a great week. You guys have a great week, sorry, and we'll talk to you next Monday.
Lovely.
Drive home safely, my friend. And I feel like the James Franco meme where he's standing on the plank on the boat with the noose around his neck going up first time when he's talking about the crater he dug himself.
Yep.
Like I said, I'm down 2,400 for the season so far. So I'm going to get it back in one felt calculated swoop. My bet being worth this week a whopping plus 24.34.
Oh, okay.
Or, I'm sorry, 24.32, which would put me up $32 whole should it hit. And it is nothing more than a very simple 6-leg parlay to get it done. Arsenal over Everton and Arsenal over Bournemouth.
I'd take both of those.
Respectfully, of course. City over Newcastle because I think Newcastle's going to be disappointed after their FA Cup or Carabao Cup loss. Mm-hmm. I just short-circuited there for a second. Like, hey, no. Sorry, guys. I had a little Taylor. And then I still feel so bad saying some of that stuff.
Maybe you need to change your batteries.
I know. My Duracells are kicking off. And then, God bless it. Thank God Leonidas wasn't around. All I need to do is have City beat Newcastle because I think Newcastle's going to be a bit disappointed. And there's nobody really in that squad besides Kieran Trippier who's ever been a part of a major final, like a major disappointment, besides Loris Karius, who went into hiding for 2 fucking years.
Get it the fuck together, Sam.
They're not going to get it together, is my point. And City's going to hurt them very badly.
Hurry up, get the bet done. You break it down every leg of it for us.
Brighton's going to beat West Ham because West Ham just blew their load. Tottenham's going to beat Wolves because why not? And then Leicester, that's actually the one I'm most worried about. Leicester to beat Southampton because I don't think Southampton's got it.
Very good.
Plus 24-32. I'll be in the positive and very much ahead of all of you boys.
All right. Well, you know what I'm a little bit concerned about? Chicken been on a bad run lately.
Yes.
Even the bird can't pick winners, and she's lost her 5th in a row and sits at 10-13.
Oh, not good.
Now, boys, if you would have bet that Kitty flew the coop, then you would have had a bet for once, or in Graham's case, at all. It's a very awkward sentence.
Yeah. Sorry. I'll keep it going.
Why is that funny, Graham? Can you explain the joke to me?
Just read the fucking bet, man. Or say it with autogram. Read, bitch!
So Kitty left an autogram claiming she had, quote, financial arrangements to address and would be back soon. She's also picking Arsenal to beat Bournemouth this weekend. And I'm sure if she could talk, she would also want me to tell you all to please gamble legally and responsibly.
Championship corner!
I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh no!
I'm having difficulty because I've been doing so many different sports leagues because of the betting this week.
Uh-huh.
The championship fell out of my favorites.
Oh, no shit.
On ESPN. So, let's go back to Tuesday. Blackburn beat Blackpool 1-0. Millwall tied Burnley 1-1. And then you had Norwich beating up Birmingham. Actually, was that the game? No, it was not. It was the weekend. Arsenal loanee Marquinhos had a hat trick for Norwich this weekend in his debut.
Wow.
I believe. Rotherham 2-1 over Sunderland, scoring 33% more of the goals that Chelsea have since November 6th. At that point in time, Stoke City 3-1 over Swansea. On Saturday, you had Coventry 2-1 over Sunderland, Luton 1-0 over Birmingham, Bristol City beat out Hull 1-0, and I'm sure a barn burner of a match. Burnley 4-0 over Huddersfield. Norwich, no, I thought he had a hat trick. I don't know what's happening right now. There's fake news all over the place. Be careful, everybody. Norwich 2-0 over Cardiff. Somebody said he had a hat trick in his debut, and he didn't score midweek, and he only had one at the weekend.
If there's someone you don't believe in the truthfulness of their news telling,
Firehawk.
please.
It's Firehawk. Firehawk did it. He said hat trick in his caption when he shared the story.
Please tell them with an autogram.
Tell the truth, bitch!
In scintillating National League action, Christian wants you all to know that Wrexham beat the Dorking Wanderers.
Oh,
Why does he have against the Wanderers that he's calling them dorks?
I know.
That's kind of mean.
Again, it bears worth repeating. This just reminds me of the movie Johnny Dangerously. This is fucking war. Every time I hear dorking.
Yeah.
Barking Wanderers.
No one listens to this is old enough to know what you're talking about.
Nope.
Preston beating Wigan 2-1. Blackburn 3-1 over QPR. Reading 3-1 over Blackpool. Sheffield United getting a win 1-0 over Watford. Millwall 1-0 over Stoke City. In the most Brexit derby ever. West Brom 2-0 over Borough. Continuing their Steve Bruce freedom. And Swansea 1-1 with Rotherham on Monday. That leaves your table looking like this. You've got Burnley up top on 34 games played with 76 points and a plus 40 goal differential. Holy hell. Sheffield United plus 25 goal differential on 33 games played with a 64-point total. Middlesbrough up 57 points plus 16 on 34 games played. Blackburn 34 games played. Dead even goal differential and a 55 points on the board. Millwall 33 games played but 53 points on the board. So if they win that game in hand, they can move up into fourth and get a little bit of a more favorable seeding in the playoff hunt. You also have Luton Town on 33 points because Nathan Jones laid the foundation. Plus 8 goal differential, same as Millwall, actually, and 53 points on the board as well. Norwich City in 7th. They've fallen a bit. 34 games played, so the teams in front of them, both have games. Both of them have games in hand. They are sitting on 52 points. Watford, 34 games played on 50 points. Sunderland, 34 games played on 49. West Brom, 33 games played on 48, so they can jump up into 8th, just outside of the playoff places with Norwich there. It's going to be down to the wire because you also have Coventry with a game in hand on 48 points and Preston North End with a game in hand on 45 points, although their goal differential is absolute fucking trash at -8. You got at the bottom of the table, you got Wigan in 24th place, 31 points. They do have a game in hand over Blackpool, and they are tied on points. Huddersfield Town also have a game in hand on Blackpool. All three clubs are on 31 points. Huddersfield with a better goal differential, though, and Neil Warnock's in charge now.
Yeah, exactly. The Warlock will fix everything.
They're getting fucking out of it, aren't they? -17 goal differential. Blackpool's -18. Wigan's -22. They're all chasing Cardiff, and they're all 4 points behind Cardiff, but Cardiff have played a maximum of 34 games. They're on 35 points, just outside the drop zone in 21st. Rotherham in 20th with 37 points. -9 goal differential, and that could come into play at the end of the season, actually having a much better goal difference than the teams below them, but they are on a maximum of 34 games as well. Birmingham and QPR not out of it. Birmingham on 38 points, QPR on 39 points. Both of them also have 34 games played, but their goal difference is much, much better than those at the bottom. That's a lot of shit.
Worth noting, really the only kind of guarantee we would say is it looks like Burnley's going to end up getting promotion.
Yes.
In all likelihood, winning the championship as well.
They were, what did I say, 12 points above? Yeah, 12 points above, but Sheffield United have a game in hand.
Fucking 40. How unfucking Burnley of them.
Correct.
Vincent Kompany has them scoring for fun.
So I think it's more Craig Bellamy, but worst case scenario is what I was trying to say. They'll only be 9 points ahead at the top of the league if Blackburn win their, not Blackburn. Who's the other one?
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United win their game in hand. At worst case scenario, they'll be 9 points ahead with a +15 goal differential.
Looking forward to talking to our boy Brett over the summer when they get promoted. That'll be great.
And more exciting. We won't be able to take the piss out of them so much now.
Yeah, and be like, "Whoa, your team are fucking good in the championship."
Yeah,
you know, what to tell us about the changes that were made? Fuck,
pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely the case. Well, that's gonna wrap it up, boys and girls. Sammy, any parting words?
Not really. Nobody was really dickheads this weekend, and nobody also did anything good. It was just kind of regular.
How about you say it with an autogram?
Good job, everybody. Stay easy.
Very good. Cole, thanks so much for joining us. Have a great time.
Yes, I did. Thank you so much.
You weren't ready for me to talk to you again, were you?
I was normally like, they're closing out. They're not going to talk to me.
So normally when I say goodbye, I say goodbye to people.
I'm a girl.
You're one of the people I say goodbye to. So,
Time out.
Graham's the one that's going to mansplain you.
I got closing words.
And here it comes in 3, 2, 1.
Don't act like we control the buttons. The woman muted you, not us.
I never muted her once. We've been listening to her lap this entire time.
So she just straight lied to the customers.
Yep.
Why did I say that? Listeners.
The what?
I know. Only about 14 of them pay for it. Do better.
Customers.
If they wanted to be customers and they wanted to check out Next Up, that's Injury Time, where we talk about the beers that we were drinking. We check in on our adopted clubs, fantasy, and then go ahead and preview the entire weekend's action of the Premier League. Mr. Graham, how would they go about doing that?
It's really easy. Patreon.com/Team Football Show. $5. Give it to me.
Oh my God.
I think saying it with an autogram is the best way to say it. So with that, everybody, till next week.
Just DM me. It'll be $5. I'll send me to personally DM me $5, and I will send whatever message you want to any loved one you want. Autograms. #autograms.
Please don't.
Bye, everybody.
Good night. Good night.